Let's see. So we continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 16, text 20. Ayam bhuvo mandalam odayadrer.
Ayam bhuvo mandalam odayadre.
Gupte kaviro naradevanatha.
Gupte Saviro Naradevanatha
Asthaya jaitram ratha tachapa.
Asthaya Chetram Ratachapa
Varyasyate dakshinato yatharkaha.
Paryasyate Dakshinato Yatharkaha.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This king, being uniquely powerful and heroic, will have no competitor. He will travel around the globe on his victorious chariot, holding his invincible bow in his hand and appearing exactly like the sun, which rotates in its own orbit from the south. So, which king are they speaking about?
King Pṛthu.
That's right, thank you. And what kind of avatar is he?
He's Vishnu avatar, Krishna avatar, Vishnu expansion of
Shakti-Avesh avatar.
okay, yes, Satyavish, yeah.
He's Shakti Avesh avatar, but he's a Jiva Tattva. He's not of the category of Lord Vishnu, he's the category of the living entities.
Yeah.
In this verse, the word Yatharka indicates that the sun is not fixed, but it is rotating in its orbit, which is set by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we may try to see, under whose direction is the sun moving? Under whose direction is it? Krishna says, and the authorities say that the sun is moving under the order of Lord
Krishna.
Krishna. That's right. We may think that the sun is rising and setting as the way I like it, but no, it's moving under the fear of Lord Krishna. This is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita and also in other parts of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the sun rotates in its own orbit at the rate of 16,000 miles per second. Okay, so Bhagavatam 5th canto, we're going to come to this part. The sun rotates on its own orbit, so it has its own orbit, 16,000 miles per second. Similarly, Brahma Samhita states, Yasyagna ya brahmati sambrata kala chakra. The sun rotates in its own orbit according to the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We may think that the universe is working by its own self, or universe has its own power. That's right, but under whose order is all this happening? Under the order of Lord Krishna. The conclusion is that the sun is not fixed in one place. As far as Pṛthu Maharaj is concerned, it is indicated that his ruling power would extend all over the world. The Himalaya mountains, from which the sunrise is first seen, are called Udyachal or Udyadri. It is herein indicated that Pṛthu Maharaj's reign over the world would cover even the Himalaya mountains and extend to the borders of all oceans and seas. In other words, his reign would cover the entire planet. So he's the emperor of the world, not only of one region or of one country, but the entire world. Another significant word in this verse is Naradeva. As described in the previous verses, the qualified king, be he King Pṛthu or any other king who rules over the state, as an ideal king, should be understood to be God in human form. So, how can we understand this statement? That the king who rules over the state as an ideal king should be understood to be God in human form. Does it mean that God has become king? What does it mean? It means that the king is ruling as a representative of God. It's his duty to take care of all the citizens, just as God is taking care of each and every living entity. That's the idea. It's not that the king has become God. No, that he is representing God. He's doing his duty for the pleasure of God. That's how we see it. So, ideal king.
He has come in a human form. That's what it means, right?
I'm sorry?
God has come in a human form.
Not
God.
necessarily. This is okay. Pṛthu Maharaj, he is
Yeah.
an empowered incarnation. But for example, Yudhishthir Maharaj.
Yeah.
So he also ruled as an ideal king. So what does that mean? So he's ruling as a representative of Krishna. He's ruling just as Krishna wants him to rule, taking care of the citizens, doing his duty for the pleasure of Krishna. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. According to Vedic culture, the king is honored as the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he represents Narayan, who also gives protection to the citizens. He is therefore Nath, or the proprietor. Even Sanatan Goswami gave respect to the Nawab Hussain Shah as Naradeva, although the Nawab was Muhammadan. A king or governmental head must therefore be so competent to rule over the state that the citizens will worship him as God in human form. That is the perfectional stage for the head of any government or state. So not that the king has become God, but he's ruling in such a excellent way, taking care of everyone, as God is taking care of everyone by his competency. He's doing his duty for the pleasure of Krishna. Yeah, so there were ideal kings. We just said Yudhishthir Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj was another ideal emperor, Bharat Maharaj,
King Janak.
King Janak, that's right. Yes. Yeah, so they have been, not that they become God, no, but they're ruling as representatives of God. As we see, for example, there may be representatives, they're ambassadors. The Indian ambassadors are sent all over the world in different countries to represent the Indian government, to represent the Prime Minister. So it's that way. Still an individual, but they have gotten the powers, so they have to do the duty accordingly. They have the position, the responsibility. Yeah. Asmai nripala kila tatra.
Asme Nipala Kilatatra
Balim harishyanti salokapala.
Balim Harishanti Salokapala
Mamsyanta esham striya tirajam.
Mamsyanta Esham Striyadidajam
Chakra yudam tad yasa udarantayaha.
Chakra Yutam Tad Yasha Udaran. Yeah.
When the king travels all over the world, other kings as well as the demigods will offer him all kinds of presentations. The queens will also consider him the original king who carries in his hands the emblems of club and disc and will sing of his fame, for he will be as reputable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As far as reputation is concerned, King Pṛthu is already known as the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Adi Raja means the original king. The original king is Narayan or Lord Vishnu. People do not know that the original king or Narayan is actually the protector of all living entities. So Krishna, he's the origin of everything, of everyone. He's the original guru, the Adi Guru. He's the original spiritual master. He's the original king. Every one of us is coming from him. So as a king takes care of the citizens, Lord Vishnu, he's maintaining each and every one of us. He's in charge of maintenance of the universe. As confirmed in Vedas, Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman, Katha Upanishad 2:13. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is maintaining all living entities. The king or Naradev is his representative. As such, the king's duty is to personally supervise the distribution of wealth for the maintenance of all living entities. So it is the duty of the king to maintain the living entities. And that's the reason the citizens would worship the king as such, because they were so well taken care of. If he does so, he will be as reputable as Narayana, as mentioned in this verse, that Yashaha. Pṛthu Maharaj.
बाहर ब्लैंकेट अरे पहले ठंडा खींचे
Pṛthu Maharaj was actually carrying with him the reputation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he was actually reigning over the world in that capacity. So he was actually doing his duty very, very well. That's the reason his fame would spread. Ayam mahim gam duduhe adhiraja.
Ayam mahim gam duduhe adhiraja.
Prajapati vriti kara prajanam.
Prajapati vriti kara prajana.
Yolila yadrin swashara sakotya.
Yoli layadrin swatara sakotya.
Bindan samam gam akarod yatendraha.
Bindan samam gam akarod yatendriya.
This protector of the citizens, is an extraordinary king and is equal to the Prajapati demigods. For the living facility of all citizens, he will milk the earth, which is like a cow. Not only that, but he will level the surface of the earth with the pointed ends of his bow, breaking all the hills, exactly as King Indra, the heavenly king, breaks mountains with his powerful thunderbolt. Milk the earth, which is like a cow, because from the earth we get the grains, the gold, the minerals, everything we are getting from the earth, as we are getting milk from the cow. So King Pṛthu is going to do that. Vispurya jana jagavam danu swayam.
Vishpurjayan aja ajagavam danu swayam.
Yada charachamam avishayam ajo.
Yada charashtam avisha
Jo
ajo.
Tada nileyur dishideshya santo.
Tada niliyo tishideshi asanto.
Langulam udyamya yatham ragendraha.
Langulam audyamya yatham mrigendra.
The lion travels in the forest with its tail turned upward. All menial animals hide themselves. Similarly, when King Pṛthu will travel over his kingdom and vibrate the string of his bow, which is made of the horns of goats and bulls, and is irresistible in battle, all demoniac rogues and thieves will hide themselves in all directions. It is very appropriate to compare a powerful king like Pṛthu to a lion. In India, Kshatriya kings are still called Singh, which means a lion, unless rogues, thieves, and other demoniac people in a state are afraid of the executive head, who rules the kingdom with a strong hand, there cannot be peace or prosperity in the state. Thus, it is most regrettable when a woman becomes the executive head instead of a lion like king. In such a situation, the people are considered very unfortunate. Anyone, any comments on this? We have had Jhansi Ki Rani as a king, as a queen, and she's still so famous that she led her people to fight such a valiant war. So valiantly she fought. Well, anyway, what Prabhupada is more trying to say is that the king should be in such a position that he's actually able to take care of the citizens. That's the point. That he should do his duty of being a king.
I
Yeah,
think
did
maybe
anyone want to?
I just wanted to add that maybe because what they're trying to say is that women, they try to look into the situation in an emotional way, because by nature they are emotional. And like a male, if he is the king, then he will look into a matter not on an emotional basis, but in a like what it's the reality. He will like, because it's the tendency in Kali Yuga that people just cry out louder than what the situation is. So a lady can be very, very easily, and I'm talking about myself, not others, because if somebody just comes and make up things and they tell their story by crying and adding, then I will get carried away. I will not be able to look into the real matter, what actually the real matter is behind that thing. And so I will be carried away, and my decision would be based on that. So that's the
a very
nature of
good
women. Very easy to, just fool her in a way. Not fool. People get offended by this word fool, but it is like that. You can just change her decisions based. She can change her decisions based on that.
Because women are soft-hearted.
Yes, they are very
Yeah.
soft-hearted, and they are very
Yeah.
They are very,
Yeah.
very emotional. They always
Yeah.
look at the tears situation, not practically. They don't see what practical it might be in a way. So maybe that's what they're trying to stay here.
Very valid point. Thank you. Yeah. Did anyone have any counter argument or anything? If no, then we will proceed.
And for sometimes some people also have. So I just wanted to also say that because she is also quite on the material, because she thinks that everything, she is very much connected to the body. Like, the women sits in front of mirror for maybe more than 1.5 hours to make her body beautiful. So she's still on the body platform. That is also the reason that she won't be able to connect properly to few things which are to be seen in the spiritual way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Did anyone have any counter arguments to anything of what we were just discussing?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, not to counter argument, but what Neha said, is exactly happened with me many times. Many people make me fool, and I easily trapped in their tears or whatever they explain to me. And after sometimes they become the boss, like they feel I am the boss. And they thought oh, they easily motivated me, not motivated, like making me fool, and they just won their desire. So I asked one of my friend, she is also related with Krishna consciousness. I asked her, why this happened with me again and again. I just tried to help people without any intention to getting back. And but the people, they are using me as per their choice, as per their preferences. So what she said to me, maybe in your past life, you did the same with her. So Krishna send them to just treated you as the same way. But I don't know how much truth it is. But it's true, I become very much emotional and I feel very upset for a few days. And I try to convince me, oh, it's let it go, but it's not easy to forget everything. So what to do?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ratna.
Hare
So
Krishna.
going forward. Esho ashvamedan shatam ajahara.
Esho ashvamedan
Tam ajhara
ajahara
Saraswati pradurabhaviyatra.
Saraswati
Pradurabhaviyatra
pradurabhaviyatra
Ahara siddhyasya hayam purandara.
Aharshidasya
hayam purandara
Shatakratush charame vartamane. Shatakratush
Shata
Kratushkarame
Vartamane.
vartamane.
At the source of the river Saraswati, this king will perform 100 sacrifices known as Ashwamedha. In the course of the last sacrifice, the heavenly king Indra will steal the sacrificial horse. This is like another, we are going to get into this. We're going to see why is Indra stealing the horse? What's happening? King Pṛthu is doing 100 sacrifices, Ashwamedhas, and here King Indra is stealing the horse. We'll continue reading. Yeah, we'll stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for all your valuable comments.